This Silkee Smoove right here, and I'm buzzing with Buzz.
Where does the name Silkee Smoove come from?
Oh man, the name Silkee Smoove. I want to say it originate from me messing with my uncle one day. Like, he an older guy, he got a lot of threads, and every time he talk to me, he always talking about spawn and spawn and spawn. And I'm like, man, what you talk about spawn? So he put like a music video on it and it had Silk on it. And I was like, oh, I could be that right there. He was like, so what you would call yourself? I said, shoot, Silkee Smoove. So that's where the name really originated from. I love a lot of R&B. So I felt that the name really matched with the R&B style of myself. So that's where it comes from.
And you double as a photographer also?
Yeah, I'm a local photographer in Montgomery, Royal Flash Photography. So yeah, I mean, I got budget prices for high quality work. So yeah.
What's the balance of being a photographer and an artist?
To me, they balance each other out, because at the end of the day, me as an artist, I don't look at music of doing what everybody else is doing. I look at myself in music as being like Picasso. Like, I have a different eye. So when it comes down to photography, it's the eye. You can look at like eggs on a plate and be like, they're just regular scrambled eggs. I sit there, throw the eggs on the plate with the sausages. I throw you a whole omelet together and everything and call it a masterpiece. So I look at things differently. I have more detail when I look at things. So that's how I balance mine out.
Being a photographer while being an artist, have you ever thought about being head of your own marketing?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. It's just when it comes down to that area, you know, I have 2 daughters and I got a wife, so it's kind of hard to just, hey, I'm finna push all this to the side and just focus all on this. I mean, I still have to look at it. I still need to have something stable coming on this side versus this side. But yeah, head of my marketing, like, I do a lot of my own covers, a lot of my own photo shoots. I can do my own music videos, but what's the fun of directing your own music video when you just want to be in the video? So.
You spoke on having a wife and kids. So what is the work-life balance of being an artist and a family man?
Now, that one is one of the tricky ones, because it comes down to me. I'm more of a family man than being the artist and the businessman. So I would literally put my family before all of that, because I like spending time with my girls. Like, I like running around. I like doing those type of things. So I would put them before that. And then if I have time, then I'll go probably finish up a song here, a song there.
Being a photographer and being an artist while being married, how does that fit like your love life balance?
Right now, if I look at it, if I would have looked at it back then, it probably would have been kind of unbalanced, because you have to look at, okay, well, right now, you know, you're an upcoming artist. You may have different women in this situation probably try to talk to you, or you might have more interest this way because you're getting more followers, you're getting more people looking at you. So back then I would look at it, was kind of unbalanced, because it seemed like it would be a lot of issues. There used to be a lot of arguments, used to be a lot of conversations that I felt that probably wasn't necessary, but if you look at a woman's standpoint of view, it was. Because it's something that's a concern. It's something that you got to look at. A lot of artists, a lot of relationships, a lot of things get broken just because of the type of different temptations. So right now, after different conversations, I mean, she comes to all my shows, radio interviews she done with me. I mean, anywhere I go, she's with me. She's my second photographer. So with that being said, right now, there's no issue right now. Like, she was in the last studio session I had with Diego. So when it comes down to the issue, she could easily talk to me. We don't argue about nothing. We actually can have a decent conversation about what's going on. So if it seems like it's a photo shoot, like, then she may feel inappropriate. I'm like, well, you the second photographer. Like, you want to do the shoot, you do the shoot. And she'll, okay. So she'll go ahead and do the shoot. So it's just all communication. Trust. All of that is going to always be key when it comes down to anything you do, whether it's music, business, going out for yourself. It's always going to be communication, trust. If you can't communicate with each other, how can you trust each other? If you can't trust each other, you'll never be able to communicate with each other. So the whole thing coming in that area is going to always, those two going to surround your loyalty. So that's going to dictate from those three to your fourth area, your intimacy. Because if you got three problems going on, you'll never be intimate with each other. You'll never want to go out with each other. You're gonna always be at each other because you're letting the problems that surround it dictate what's going on in the inner circle. So,
If you could describe yourself as 3 artists, what 3 would you choose?
oh man, if I could describe myself as 3 artists, I put myself in a Nas category, a DMX category, and I want to say Boyz the Man. So I would put myself in those 3. Nas because his lyrical mindset. Like, he wasn't your normal rapper, normal MC. He was literally telling you a story. He was literally telling you things that were going on in the gutter areas where he stayed at. DMX, he just didn't give a damn. Like, he just gonna be straightforward and let you know how he felt. That's how he felt right then. But then he'll end you with songs with prayers and stuff. And then when I say Boyz the Man, because I'm a lover. So that Boyz the Man took me from being a boy to progressing into a man. So I still believe in giving out the doves and roses, the candlelight dinners. I believe in all that. So that's why I give myself those 3 artists.
What do you think make you as an artist different from all the artists we see today?
Because I'm what's missing. See, right now, a lot of artists today, they talk about shooting all the time, guns all the time, drugs all the time. I don't even do drugs. I like to drink. So I don't do drugs. But besides that, like, I just took it back to the area of, if this what you gonna do, be truthful, be honest. So a lot of my music that I have is real facts, real truth. It surrounds a lot of things that I already had going on. Like, especially when you take My Heart in consideration, that song, that's all the way back in 2010. Like, we 2023 right now, that's 13 years ago.
You worked with Wheel of Food a lot. Tell us about that relationship.
Oh man, 231 Wheel of Food, that's my younger brother. What happened in that area, I started music first, but I ended up taking care of my oldest daughter by myself. So they put me in the area doing a backtrack. My Heart was actually the last song that was supposed to be recorded. My brother would every day, when you gonna record something, when you gonna record something, when you gonna record something. And I was like, well, bro, right now, this is what I'm doing here, this is what I'm doing here. I got to move over here, I got to do this with her over here, do this with her. And then he started doing music. I had a lot of guys who he started doing music talking to, and it was like, oh, so you his brother? I was like, yeah. He was like, man. He said you was his favorite rapper, and that was the reason he started even deciding to do music. I was like, oh, man. So one day, he had the song Enough Said, never finished it. He just he said, I'm gonna keep it this way. I was like, well, if you gonna keep it that way, that need to be your first song. It has a real message behind it. Like, it's not your normal song. This is a song that a guy can turn on and be like, he understand where I'm coming from. And then he just contacted me and he said, I need 16 hard bars. And I was like, okay, that's what I need. He booked the studio session on my birthday. And he said he knew to book it on that day because he knew I was gonna come. And I came, and that's how No Said he came along. After that, he told me I can't let the pedal. I got to keep pressing the gas now. And from there, I just kept coming.
Any upcoming projects?
Trying to finish the project I'm doing now. This project I'm doing now called Please Forgive Me. That's basically people who knew of me doing music. I want them to just take my humble apology of me stopping something that I love. My next project after that is going to be more towards the R&B area. So I got one that's going to be called Silkee Smoove The Exchange. And then I got another one that me and 231 will be doing together, and it's gonna be called Guns and R&B. So he's gonna want to give you more the gangster to love side. So that's how we're gonna be. It's gonna be more kind of poetic sounds type of thing. So it's gonna be a lot of old school vibes up in there. I mean, we got a lot of samples going on. We bringing older Leahs and everything out. So it's gonna be something you can ride to, something you can listen to. It's gonna be on one of those Buzzin type of projects. So,
Would you like an older R&B? What is your opinion on the status of R&B music today?
It ain't no R&B today. That's how I look at it. I mean, back then, we remember back then when you heard the song back then, you can feel notes. You can feel it. So you used to get goosebumps when you heard high notes. When you can actually feel the emotion through the songs. Now it's like a lot of R&B. In order to even see how they feel, you got to hear more pain to even know what's going on. Because a lot of stuff they do really be surrounding around sex a lot. I mean, if you went back then to our R&B all in the 90s, 80s area, even if you did get sex, you could feel the emotion. You could literally feel it from the beat, the end of the tones. When the 808s did bump, you can feel all that rhythm be like, I got to rewind that. I need to get back to that. And then you just press rewind so much that your CD scratched up. You can't play it no more. You're back in the CD store. You got the vinyls going on. They scratching up. You just can't keep stop. You got to listen to the same thing over and over. And that's how I am in today's music. I still navigate back to old school music. I still do. Like, before I even did the interview, I was just listening to Silkee. So,
Where can the viewers find you?
you can find me on Facebook at Silkee Smoove. That's SILKEESMOOVE. You can find me on Instagram the same way, but add the 231 behind it. If you want to find me on photography, put in Ray Flash Photography LLC on Facebook, and then on Instagram 231_studios. That's how you find me on Instagram.